Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and guys, thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for all the support and helping me grow this channel. Hopefully, I can get to that 5K mark, 10K mark soon, and I'm hoping in the new year my channel just really grows a lot more. That is my hope and my goal, and I'll keep doing the best I can. So please keep supporting this channel, and I'll try to do better videos for you guys and better content. Now, I want to thank Mechlands. Mechlands has been really good to me with sending out things that I see new, and they've been very quick to do so. This is the new Mechlands Blade75. Now, Mechlands has done the Vibe 75, Vibe 99. They were both plastic boards. So now Mechlands has gotten themselves into aluminum board, and I'm excited to check it out because their vibes sounded really great stock, and I actually did enjoy them. So let's get straight into unboxing, and please make sure to like and subscribe.
I hope you all had a great Christmas, and now we're going to start with the unboxing of the Mechlands Blade75. Thank you again to Mechlands for sending me this keyboard out. So of course, with the X-Acto knife, we're going to get the plastic off, and we're going to take a look inside this box. Now, I've got to admit, this box gives huge gaming vibes. So let's take a look to see what makes this keyboard so special. Now, before we get into the keyboard, let's open up the accessories box and take a look. I do like how they really did put attention to this box. It is a nice quality box. That is the new Mechlands switch, which I'll give you guys more information about a little later. The cable itself is actually, I'm going to be honest, a bit of a cheap cable. Not one of those braided or coiled cables. It is kind of cheap. Now you do get, of course, the regular Mechlands manual inside. It's like the same as the Vibe keyboards that they had done before, and now we have the keyboard. I got the blue version from them. I gotta admit, I do like the design. It is really clean. If you look really close to it, it does have some glisten to it, and it has this really nice mirror on the back. I'd say mirror. It's supposed to be the weight, but it is actually a mirror. Now, that portion actually fell off for me, so I had to get to the other corner to just get this off. And really, it is a mirror. As you can see, it gives you the reflections of me recording this on my phone. Now, we're going to have to weigh this board before we get into a sound test. So let's quickly take a look. This is going to weigh a total of 1.6 kilos, and let's do a sound test. So now that the sound test is done, we're going to, of course, have to tear down this board to see what is inside. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed in the sound test, it didn't sound super thocky. I don't know how to explain the sound. It's not a clicky sound, but it's not like a thocky sound. So I don't know, it's a little bit iffy of the sound. Now, you can see there, that's where these screws are going to be. I'm going to remove all the screws, and then, of course, open up this board. So, sorry, just one more thing. It's going to be 6 screws in total. So now we're going to actually take apart this board after getting all the screws out. The volume knob was actually incredibly difficult to pull off. It skipped over a lot of me trying to pull it off. So I actually had to just actually pull on the top gasket itself to get the volume knob off. So just be careful when you're doing that though. If you are going to actually open up your board, it is something to be very, very careful of. The volume actually flew away from me and I had to go pick it up. So getting back into it, we actually have a very thin foam on the bottom. It's actually just supposed to be the PCB foam. So it's foam for the PCB, and then we get a foam in between the plate and the PCB, and this is a PC plate board. Now, I'm trying to get off the data cable. It is quite hard to get it off. I noticed that Mechlands uses this specific type quite often. Specifically, I saw it with the Vibe, and it is incredibly hard to get out. And then, of course, we're going to have to remove the battery. Now, we're going to, of course, see more inside underneath. But as you can see there, it's got a PC plate, has the gasket mounting, like for the plate for the case, and it doesn't actually have any socks on it. So I was kind of surprised. But instead, on the actual board itself, it has the small padding, I guess, like it's just a little bit of padding for that spot. And then, of course, we have that little sheet on the bottom to cover up. It's not a lot of foam, and I'm gonna be honest, the foams that they're using weren't the best quality foams, as you can see there. I've noticed any budget board, like super budget board, like even the Leobog uses that very, very budget foam. So of course, I'm gonna have to mod this board. I'm gonna be honest, I found that this board sounds pretty good stock, but the thing is I found that it was a little bit lackluster compared to, say, the Vibe. I think when Mechlands did the Vibe, it was really, really good. Like the sound was amazing. I thought, wow, they did a great job with the sound. This one, it sounds good. It sounds, or not. I was again. It sounds pretty good. Right? It sounds pretty good for what this board is. Especially, it's a pretty budget aluminum board, right? The case itself feels really good, but we're just gonna do 2 layers of tape mod on this, and then put it back together to do a sound test. So in total, it's just 2 layers of tape. And then we're going to put this whole thing back together. Luckily, putting the ribbon cable in wasn't actually too difficult, even though it is one of those weird ones where it's like each little pin is separated, which is not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. It's just hard to remove. So something just to keep in mind of. But we're going to put this whole case back together, put all the screws in, and then we'll do a full sound test with this. Oh, and of course, we're going to do a quick filling up of the spacebar, just because I felt like the spacebar itself for this board felt or sounded a little hollow. The spacebar didn't sound bad, just sounded a little bit hollow. I think actually this one quite surprised me. Thinking about it, it didn't really have any tinging. It didn't have any like pinging sounds on the spacebar stabilizers either. So gotta give props to that. I honestly like a lot of keyboards actually sometimes come with stabilizers that just don't sound good right away. Maybe not enough lube or whatever it could be. This one actually came pretty good. It's just the spacebar, I feel like, just had a little bit of a hollow sound. Now, of course, we're going to go into a sound test of the fully modded board Blade75. So first, let's start off with the switch that they're using for the Blade75. This one is using Mechlands' new switch, which is called the Mechlands Verdant switch. I'm gonna be honest, this switch isn't my favorite. I actually like their mint switch a lot better that they used in their Vibe 75 and the Vibe 99. I think they probably should have used the same switch. The stem wobble on this one is a little bit wobbly. Like you can see there when you press it down, it is slightly wobbly. I think I really like the mint one more, and I think they should have provided that option. I think they could have really used something a little bit better. I think the mint switch would have actually sounded a lot better in this keyboard as well. Now, of course, I want to show you guys the lighting of this board. How good is the backlighting, right? That's something that I think a lot of you guys would love to see, and I think some people might be interested in, because this is a new switch from Mechlands. Now, the lighting on this keyboard is not bad. It's quite bright. As you can see, like, you can get all the right colors. Luckily, the switches, even though the bottom of the switch is a blue color, it's not actually affecting the lighting. And I think that's something also quite important, right? Depending on the bottom of the switch color, it could affect the lighting color and maybe make it slightly different colored. Now that we did the backlighting test, I want to give you guys a little bit more information of the software and where you can find it, of course, right? So like if you go to Mechlands, you can actually go down to their software section and make sure to download the Mechlands driver. So it doesn't really say it on the website, but you're gonna have to go in there, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll be able to find softwares, and it's the Mechlands driver. This is what you can use for the Blade 75. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this is not my favorite software. There are many companies that use this and have a reskin of the software. Please, companies, stop using this. I actually think they should stop using this software. Go back to just being a VIA support software company. Like, make your keyboards VIA support. The reason why I don't like the skin is because it doesn't allow you to change the actual key bindings, right? You don't actually have options right there. As you can tell right there, there's nothing there that says change, say, QWERTY to, say, QWERYT, right? Like, you don't have options. You're not able to change anything, which I don't understand. It does have like some other features, right? Which is the FN settings. So like you can go into FN setting and then take a look to see, what functions that you would like to set up on this keyboard specifically, but it's not great. And one of the things I was trying to do is see, is this keyboard actually VIA compatible, which it is not. So you're going to have to use this software to do any other changes, right? Like media buttons, macros. Luckily, you can actually do like some kind of combination stuff. But as I said, this software is really not a good software. I mean, I can see that, whoever made this original software has tried to put it easier to use for users, but it's missing the key features that I think a lot of users actually are wanting, which is layers, being able to change key bindings, and even more. And unfortunately, this software doesn't do it, which is why I think other companies really have to stop using this. Now, of course, we're going to do a quick test for the keyboard inspector to see the polling rate, just because, sorry guys, I don't actually have the tool set to do testing. Now, this is getting 1000 hertz, so it's actually not bad. So what are my thoughts on this Blade 75? Now, it is a budget keyboard, right? It has USB dongle, has Bluetooth, it has a 4000 milliamp hour battery, has this really nice clean design. The case itself, if you look really close to it, has a little bit of a glitter shine to it. If I were to compare this to, say, a Rainy 75, which is around the same price, right? Because it's the Rainy 75 Lite is a 99 USD, so like 100 USD. The Leobog HI8 that I tried as well, and then I would say even comparing it to, say, the Epomaker P75, as well as the Tide 75, I would put this right behind the Rainy 75 Lite and behind the P75. This would be number 3. The reason being, I do like the sound, right? It does sound really thocky. They've done a good job in terms of building a really good quality board for 100 USD. Even though it's not using super nice foams, it's not completely packed with foam, say like the Rainy 75 is. This one comes with just a PC plate, but they did a very good job in making it very simple. The only reason I put it behind, say, like the Rainy 75 would be the fact that the Rainy 75 does have a little bit better sound, and it does have the better latency, as well as the Rainy 75 is VIA compatible. This software just is not good. Unfortunately, a lot of other companies are starting to do the same thing. Now, the P75, I think, would be better as well. The switches in the P75, I'm not a big fan of. The zebras are not something that I would like. If you're a clacky fan, that would work. The switches in this one I like actually more because it is very thocky. I think in general this board does sound really great. It works well with gaming. If you like something that feels dense, like this keyboard feels dense, um, this is something that you should look into. It has this little, even though like it's a bit lighter, it has this little dense feeling to it. It just has a nice dense feeling. It is thick though. The board feels a little bit thick, say compared to the P75. It's a bit on the thick side, but if you have a wrist rest, this works really well. I've tried gaming with it as well, and I think it works incredibly well with gaming. If you're not like super competitive, like using a Hall effect board, this works more than enough. And as I said, if you're in an office space, this won't be too loud either. Like you'll get a good sound that people will enjoy.
So, what are my thoughts with this compared to all the other 75% that I've tried? Of course, you guys saw like the different sound test comparisons, right? With the Rainy 75, the Leobog HI8 SE. We also have the Zoom. We also have just sorry, my brain just went blank for all the boards that I was talking about. But how does this compare, right? Like that's the biggest question. This is almost 100 USD, right? So it's actually quite a bit of a budget. Now, what are my thoughts on this? I'm gonna be honest. I think stock wasn't amazing. It was like, how should I explain it? The stock sound felt a little bit empty, like hollow. Like it felt like there was a hollowness to the board. Now, after doing a tape mod, it sounds much better. Right, the tape mod made it sound a lot thockier. Like you guys heard the sound test. Doing a tape mod really helps this board. Once you do a tape mod, I think this board is really great in terms of sound. I think Mechlands in general has been doing a lot of work into building the boards, and especially like more affordable ones. So where would I place this? I would place this under the Rainy. I'd place this under the ND75. I would put this over the Leobog though. I would place this higher than the Leobog. I think in terms of the quality of this board and how it feels to type on and the sound wise, I would actually put this over that. So definitely take a look, check it out in the links below, and please make sure to check out the other videos I got. It really helps with the viewership, and hopefully I catch you guys with a better content. So please let me know if I ever can do something better, and I'll always do so. So I'll catch you guys next time, and thank you.